Jake Brown, Brian Costello, gangs all here is in the building. New York Post from Florham Park, New Jersey. My first stop, Kaz, here. The food is delicious, I must say. We won't talk about that, but it is the last day of Jets training camp. Save the best for last. And Dwayne Brown showed up. He's here. He's a huge part of this offensive line, and that is one of the biggest storylines here coming into the day. The offensive line has gotten a lot of scrutiny. You know, can they stay healthy? Can they stay on the field? Will it work out? Dwayne Brown being on the field was a big moment here to end training camp.
Yeah, I mean, he only did individual drills, Jake, so he still has to do team drills. I would think he'd get in there next week probably. But they're counting on Dwayne Brown, which is pretty scary if you're a Jets fan, because he turns 38 years old next week. He's coming off shoulder surgery. But every time we've talked about the offensive line problem, Salah's mentioned, Dwayne Brown will be back. Dwayne, actually, I thought it was interesting. He just talked to us. He said he's actually back earlier than what the doctors told him he would be. So, we'll see if he can stay healthy for 17 games. And the offensive line is the biggest question mark about this team.
Dwayne Brown could bench press both me and Kaz. His arms are just massive. So I'm confident he's going to be okay. Yes, he's older, and that was interesting. He said he came back a lot earlier. He beat the odds by coming back this early. And he talked about Makai Becton and how he could be one of the best to ever do it at that position. And Makai Becton, Kaz, moving over to the right side, it's new for him. We saw it in a game. It's going to be intriguing to watch. Can he move over to the right? He's talked about in the past, I am a left tackle. Can he make that move, and can they coexist?
Yeah, I'm skeptical, Jake. I think Makai has to show it, and he's got to show it for a long time. I mean, this is a guy who hasn't played a full game since December of 2020, a long time ago. And he had problems on the right side last year. He didn't like it. He seems to be embracing it more, but he needed a rest day today. Didn't practice. So it just shows he's still not all the way back. So I think if you're counting on him playing 70 snaps a game every week, it's going to be pretty tough.
We still got a few weeks here till opening night, 9/11, Jets-Bills, Monday Night Football. One more test over the weekend. Aaron Rodgers, I wanted him to be Bubble Boy, Kaz, but he will play. What is he going to get, a series, 2 series?
I think it'll probably be a quarter, Jake, so probably 2 series, I would guess. That'd be my guess, depending on how long it is.
Is that the right move?
Yeah, football players need to play football. And, it's a new team. They want him to get in the stadium, kind of just, get through the process of getting ready, what it feels like in that stadium. Work with the guys he's got to work with, come back on. I think he'll play. I think that's why I don't think it's going to be 1 series. I think they're going to want him to have that adjustment, unless it's a 14-play series or something. But, you can get hurt anytime, Jake. I don't think they're going to take risks with him. I don't think he's going to be doing a lot of 7-step drops. I think it's going to be get the ball out of his hand quickly, hand the ball off, and get him out of there.
I might be watching too much Mets baseball, Kaz, and I worry about injuries in games that don't matter for the team as much. But, it'll be good to see him out there at MetLife Stadium against the Giants. One guy who won't be there is Corey Davis, who, retired and is gone from the team. Were you surprised by the move, and could it end up being a benefit that the Jets saved $10 million? They're close to $20 million, in cap space now. And three-part question here, do they replace him before the season? Do they go out and sign another wide receiver?
Yeah, I was surprised that when it came down yesterday, but I never thought he'd be on this team for $10.5 million, Jake. It's too much money for a backup wide receiver. So I always thought they'd be saving that money somehow, maybe not all of it. So, yeah, they got money to play with if a trade comes along. If they sign someone, Jake, it's not going to be anyone of note. There's no one out there of note right now to sign. It's end of August. So they might sign someone just to have another body here, but I don't think it's going to be anyone that's going to move the needle. If someone's going to come here that moves the needle, it's going to be before the trade deadline.
And the 2 names that, Jets Nation is talking about, Davante Adams, Mike Evans. Do you see any realistic possibility that one of those comes here? Obviously, the Rodgers connection. Rodgers is going to be on the phone trying to get Davante Adams here. Will the Raiders quit on the season by essentially trading him? Or Mike Evans, on a team that's in a rebuilding mode in Tampa Bay, that seems like the more realistic possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to project what teams are going to do in October. I don't think anyone's looking to do that right now. And the Raiders went out and invested in Jimmy G. They're going for it. So I don't think they think they're going to be out of it. The Buccaneers are in a little different situation with Baker on the cheap. But, we saw them last week. They've got some good players on that team, and the division stinks. So I don't know if the Buccaneers are going to be out of it by the end of October. So I don't know. I know those are hope wish list guys for the Jets fans, but there's no indication right now that they're going to be on the trade block.
Jets training camp is wrapping up. The season is right around the corner. Me and Kaz, Jake Brown, Brian Costello will have you covered on the Gangs All Here pod all year long. And Kaz, a lot of hoopla here in camp. A lot of fans were in the building, and we will see you right around the corner.